All right, everyone, we are joined by two very special guests. They are Olympians. They are figure skating analysis. They are, faithfuls that we know and love, and they are best friends. Everybody welcome Tara Lipinski and Johnny Weir. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's absolutely our pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Oh, we're so excited for so many reasons, right? Because we love Traitors, but at the same time, we're just coming off an Olympics, a Winter Olympics, and we get so into it. It's the figure skating, especially for the Winter Olympics. It's just you end up obsessing over it every time it comes back around. So it's so fun seeing you guys be a part of it. But that's why we were joking. Is like when you guys were coming on Traitors, and you're like, yeah, we're figure skaters, we know each other, and everyone's like, oh sure. I'm like, oh my god, nobody knows, and no one really.
We got really lucky.
Put it together until you guys had your big reveal.
Until our big reveal.
Like, we can't take it anymore.
Yeah, we're best friends.
No, there's one person who has no excuse. That's Eric Nam.
Yeah.
So we filmed with him for the Olympics in 2018. He was teaching us all about K-pop. So he should have alerted people if he needed to.
It's like I met them before. They were very much working together.
He thought he knew your handwriting, but he didn't.
Yeah.
I think what was great about it is they knew that we knew each other. We were both figure skaters, but I think our stories going in, we just really nailed it. We did it kind of seamlessly, where we just were like, oh, we live on different coasts. Like, I won the Olympics when I was 15. He just started skating when he was 12. Yeah. We never really knew each other.
You sold it in a way that was like, you guys are both in the business, but didn't really.
Yeah, we would be like.
Because I think it's kind of like the housewives being like, yeah, she's also another housewife, but I've never really met her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would ask, and we'd be like, yeah, sometimes we work together.
Yeah. It was really like, that was our one move. It's our one strategy. Preparing for the show, because we got the offer on the same call. We couldn't come up with a proper theory or strategy. What are we going to do? But the only thing we could control was our relationship with one another. And we thought it would be best, definitely, if we kept it to ourselves, keep it a little hush-hush for the people that wouldn't know.
Right.
And we really stayed apart for, a good chunk of the show.
Very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. But when he first came to, see me outside at the castle, I was mad at you
because I went for a hug, because I hug everyone. I'm a hugger.
And I was like, oh no, this is going against our plan. I was like, oh hi.
Good to see you,
actually,
sir.
Who are you?
Yeah, too suspicious. Now, I think everybody wants to know what would have happened if one of you were a traitor and one was not, because that's what we were dying to see happen.
It's so easy. We would have protected each other. If one of us was up in the that's probably why they didn't do it, because either one of us, we would have protected one another till the very end, so one of us could win.
Right.
So either a faithful or a traitor.
It's all about playing the game, and they want to put together the best game show. So I think they definitely would have been a disadvantage if one of us had been a traitor, because we pretty much, even as two faithfuls, were playing our own game.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it would have been a mess for them if one of us was a traitor and was protecting the other the whole time.
Yeah, and I would have known.
Yeah, we would have known immediately.
Yeah, I feel like even if you didn't tell each other outright, you just would have been able to tell.
100%, yeah.
Oh, that would have been so interesting. But instead, you guys were both faithfuls until the end. And once you guys reveals that you were best friends, everyone was on to you. Oh my God, what if they're trying to throw us off the scent?
Yeah.
And you guys were getting there at the end.
We really did.
We got there.
You got there at the end. You were right there. You sniffed them out, and then boom, Maura kept her alliance.
We got
Rob.
close, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we won because we stayed together till the very end, and that's really what we wanted.
And I think as far as a duo goes, we lasted longer than a very extreme duo like we are.
Totally.
We lasted longer than any other duo had, and we're really proud of that. And I think going into it, our dream was to stand at the final flame, hold hands, raise them like in the Hunger Games, and just be super proud. But for the way we played and how kind of fish out of water we were, I'm so proud with how we did, because we made it as far as we possibly could have. But we were 2 episodes late to figure out who the traitors were.
Yeah. That is so true. And I think, during that round table with Natalie, where she was like, I need you to speak up for me and be on my side. And it seemed like you just couldn't quite maybe get, or you didn't want to throw Rob's name.
Well, there are definitely 2 main things.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's an hour show, right?
Yes.
So you only see so much, and I think it was great TV for, the drama of it all, but there's so much that's happening, during the day. So for me, what wasn't shown is I thought it was Rob and Maura. And I thought it was like a Bonnie and Clyde thing. And I was telling Natalie this, and I'm like, it's the two of them. Obviously, I was wrong on Maura. But I was very clear, and Johnny was very clear, that we have to have the numbers. And I was saying we shouldn't go for Rob. I think there was a few lines of me saying that we shouldn't go for Rob tonight. What I was wanting to do is go for Maura that night. But the thing is I went to Natalie before the round table. That, again, you can't show all of this, but we had realized we didn't have the numbers. Natalie and I went to Maura, and Maura was like, no, and then went to Rob and Eric. And then Johnny was talking to Eric, and he's like, oh boy, Tara, there is, there's that alliance of Mark, Eric, Maura, Rob going for Natalie with the double dagger. So then I went to Mark, and I was like, Mark, will you commit? And he's like, no, I can't commit. Let's just, because it's hard. How do you know?
Yep.
And who knows? Maybe at the table he would have been like, okay, well now I'll go down the Rob avenue. But Rob had a lot of people fooled, so it was hard for people to commit. But I went to Natalie before, and I was like, we can't do this. Like, it's 3 against 5. And I'm like, we'll just see how it goes at the table. But then it's hard. Like, the heat came on Natalie very quickly from that side.
And if you stand out, you get stuck. So I think in addition to the gameplay of Natalie and Tara trying to figure it out, I was in the same car and I was listening to the whole conversation. But as the final gamer, I never truly trusted Natalie. And also she curses a lot. And for me, someone who curses a lot is hiding something or trying to cover something up or be bigger or something. Like, I don't trust a person that curses a lot. So even though we did find out she was a faithful, obviously, even at that final round table, I didn't feel horrible putting her name down until after the fact. And I knew she was a faithful,
Well, I think she just, the way that it unfolded is she got a lot of heat, and then it was smart gameplay on her to be like, Tara, you told me about Rob today. So I actually was surprised because I was like, oh, I went to you before the round table. Like, I'm not going to vote for you. Let's figure out if it's Eric or Maura or if it swings to Rob. So I think it was just an unfortunate turn of events for the faithfuls that happened. And the double dagger was that night. Yeah. And then I felt so bad because, she was, upset and emotional, and you make these relationships. But at that point, I knew she was voting for Johnny and I, and I could have jumped in and been trying to save her, but then that would have ruined Johnny and I's gameplay at that point. We would have gone home.
As you can probably tell, we are completely unaffected by our experience there. We can barely even talk about it. We can barely remember it. It is the show is so
details,
real.
Yes.
I mean, like, speaking of building relationships, you're in there for what it is, 2 weeks or however long. You get your phones taken away. You're, put up somewhere, and you're just focused on this game 24/7. So you can see how much it really affects you. Johnny, you with Candace, you can tell how disoriented you were after finding out she was a traitor, because you were like, wow, I really did put my trust in her, but now I'm figuring out that she was protecting me.
Yeah.
Did everything sort of change for you in that moment during the game?
I think the fact that I'd put so much faith, and Tara and I both had put so much faith in someone that was a traitor, is very on brand for us. I mean, we trust before we distrust. And I think that is just who we are at our core deep down inside. And as you mentioned, the game becomes very real. And sitting at home, I binge watched all the seasons to get ready, and I'm a huge fan now. And when I originally watched, I was like, how can they be crying? They just met 2 days ago. But you go so native and you are so deep in the game. And for people who do wear their hearts on their sleeves very proudly like us, it's a really emotional game. And when Candace revealed that she was a traitor, I was just bamboozled. And then, the next day, and that day a little bit too, but the next day is when the castle turned on me.
Yeah.
And it was so lonely. And I'm a very singular person aside from when I'm with Tara. I love just being alone. I love closing my door. I love being quiet. And it was the first time that I really didn't relish being alone because nobody would talk to me. They were all afraid to be seen with me because I was the one that was getting voted out, and they didn't want there to be any connection there. And it was it's a horrible feeling. So kind of after Candace and then the episode when everyone was coming for me, I was like, you know what? I'm terrible at this game. I'm just going to stop playing. I'm going to wear my outfits. Just leave me alone.
I mean, that was the hardest part it is so emotional when you're in the castle because you're so isolated for so long. And then these people are becoming your friends and your relationships that you're there for weeks. So I think that was the hardest thing for me to separate, the heart from the mind. And then also we were, like you said, playing our own game. So even with Candace, we were both besties with Candace, but that day Johnny's name was being thrown around. And that's, I voted for her, but never thought she was a traitor. But did it because I needed to make sure they weren't going after Johnny. So there was, or even the Natalie thing when that sort of was like a surprise at the table. I was like, but I've got to protect the team. And that was really hard for me to separate how to do that to someone, even though it's just a game.
Right. And I think that's what flies under the radar, especially as the emotions being heightened so much because as a viewer, right, you're like, oh, it's just a game. It's just a game. But even Rob, he's having to lie to everybody all the time. And you can tell by the end, he was kind of
tired.
That kind of wore on him as well, where he's like, I'm kind of tired of lying to everybody all the time. And then I saw you guys post a video where you were, when you were on the plane and you were like, we're still doing symbols to each other because
we still get weirded out
the
sometimes when we
paranoia
talk to
sets
people
in,
we don't know.
especially having cameras following you all the time as well.
Well, you don't. That's the craziest thing. You don't see the cameras. The cameras are just so hidden that is also what just immerses you in this world, and you forget that this is just a game. But afterwards at the airport, we changed our flights to fly together because we were like,
we just traumatized.
We're traumatized.
But there's like, I had the thought that the only people that come off of the Traitors and say, oh, it's just a game, are the people that lose early or the ones that win. Everyone in that in-between area, you do start to take it really seriously. I mean, call Mark Ballas. He's taken it the most seriously of anyone, even the aftermath. And we still have like a faithfuls chat that everyone's in on. And it's very sweet that you have the sense of community, but it is a hard show to play, especially I'm super emotional. T often is my rock and keeps us going forward, but I would just crumble. And it was a great test, and I think that it showed how strong our bond is and how brave we can be in the face of adversity and how much that we do. I think Natalie said it actually, like it was like playing with two kids who only wanted to play with each other at the playground. But that's what we did.
Kind of fair. Did you feel like you almost had to, when you did reveal to everyone that you are as close as you are, did you feel like they maybe didn't fully believe you? Because there's and we talked to Mark was in the studio a couple weeks ago. We talked to him about it because Mark was like, in the moment, I dance with partners all the time and like we work together and all these things, but I don't know if I have like an undying trust with all these people. But because it kind of felt like you were like, oh, we're best friends, and everyone was like, okay.
Well, I think, it definitely changed the vibe. So thank goodness somehow we lasted in the beginning, because the moment we did that, then we started getting the heat of like, one of them's a traitor, one of them's recruiting. Yeah. So I do think that we would have been spotted way earlier and been kicked out. But I don't think that in that moment they truly understood that, like, no matter what, no matter the money. Why did you pick that moment
to tell everyone you were that close?
So that day, and the edits when it goes down to an hour, and it's an 18-hour shoot day, and you guys get an hour of it to watch. It was a horrible day. Like, I just would sit by myself in rooms. She would come check on me. I would try to avoid everyone. I wasn't into it on the mission. Even the fashion shots that we do before we go down to breakfast.
Yeah, I could see on your face.
I was so defeated and done.
Well, because his name was being thrown around. Yeah. So when we woke up that morning, I guess Colton had left the night, or left that day. And then it was Candace's name that was being thrown around, but also Johnny's, which I was freaking out. And even this wasn't part of the show, but Steven came up to me. He's like, I'm going to test you. Like, this is going to, like, I know you know Johnny. His name's being thrown around. We're going after him tonight. If you, like, say something, we'll know. And I was like, definitely. And then I ran to the kitchen and we're, like, in the refrigerator. And I'm like, Johnny, I cannot tell you anything right now, so you just have to follow my lead, and we're gonna vote, like, because we had eye movements that we do at the table to like go
to signify what we were doing.
But I knew that Johnny was feeling that energy in the castle that day, and it was really hard because people were throwing his name around. And when that happens, you walk into a room and everyone goes silent, and it's like so silly. It's a game, but it feels awful. Totally. So when Johnny and I finally had a chat, I was like, I mean, I don't know what I thought. They're never going to kick 2 people off at once, but we were just like,
it.
Thelma and Louise style. Let's go out blazing and just do it together.
And to us, I think it was bigger than it would have been to the other people because it was a secret that we'd been trying to hold on to for the whole game. And at that point in the game, it was already like a week and a half, 2 weeks that we'd been there. And production secret. But anyway, we'd been there for a while. And I honestly, and I didn't think the game would affect me the way that it did, but I was just so defeated and I felt so bad. I don't like anyone to ever feel uncomfortable around me or like they have to scurry when I walk into a room because they're afraid of association. Like I've been a young gay kid in high school before. I know what it feels like. And it just like immediately took me back to that. So I was just like, I'm done. And then Tara was like, let's just do it. Let's just tell our secret.
Let's just
Let's
be
just
done
blow
together.
it all up. Like, let them banish you. They're going to murder me tonight. Let's go.
I feel like if it went a different way.
Her jersey came out.
There was like a part of me that's like, maybe I just like, if you were going, I just stand up and we're the first to like hold hands and be like, bye guys.
We're both leaving.
We're faithfuls and we're out.
Yeah. Especially after the episode with the Jack in the Box game where they just kept putting your name in and you would not put her name up, but it was just every answer was Tara. And honestly, watching it was kind of hard. I was like, oh my God, like they just keep going and you could see your faces turn like
they were
and it was harder for me too because like we know each other so well in that way. Like I was actually okay through that. I kind of knew it, but you could see it on your face if you watch back. I just know his face,
despite the Botox.
And he was like,
still just crestfallen.
He was really upset by it, and I was like, I knew after I was like, I need to get to him to talk to him because like this is it starts to feel real.
It's why I don't really read comments or emails or anything. I've got somebody scan everything for me because I don't like. I can take criticism. It makes me feel like I can be better. I'm an athlete. But like I never want someone to dislike me just because. I'd rather you get to know me and then dislike me. And it just felt like they were coming at us from all sides, and I just felt so defeated, and I wanted to protect her, but at the same time, my whole world that I built in the game was crumbling, and it was just, it was a bad day.
It was a bad day.
You know, you bring up being an athlete, and I love that in one of your confessionals, you were like, we weren't playing school games like this, like we were Olympians.
Like we trained on Christmas. I didn't do an Easter egg hunt because I was training. Like it's true, and I think that's something like during the Olympics, you marvel at these performances, but if you've not been an athlete or like in the realm or the satellite of an athlete before, you don't realize how much it actually takes and how much dedication. And I like to bring up being an athlete as much as we can because yes, our friendship, our hair, our clothes, all of that gets a lot of attention. But at the end of the day, we worked really hard for our position in this world. And I mean, it takes a lot to be an Olympian, so you can apply everything you learn as an athlete into everything else you do.
And I think it was like a different take for us too, coming on a show like that. Obviously, we've been in entertainment and we're on live TV together, but we're analyzing figure skating, so it's something very serious. So you throw us into the reality world. I mean, back in the day, he had his own reality show, so he had more experience. But
it was Tara's first.
Yeah, it was my first. So we were very different than everyone else there. We weren't reality stars. We weren't looking for like a line, and our friendship meant so much that it was a lot to juggle, and also the athlete mindset. You want to do well for your team. So for like the faithfuls became like Team USA, and it just really it wore on us when we were not doing well. You know, we felt like we were disappointing our team.
Was there any hesitation when you guys got that call about doing the show, or were you both like, oh, yes?
Well, I was excited about it. I was actually asked to do season 1.
Okay.
And I couldn't because of a prior engagement. But when we got the offer together, we definitely had to talk it through.
Yeah, because it was hard for me because I had, my daughter was only 15 months at the time. And I had never done reality. I never thought I was going to like go down that path. But again, doing it with him, I was like, this is going to be once in a lifetime experience. And the show is so fun and campy that I knew I could take it on. But I mean, look how campy and fun it is. And I still was the one like crying throughout the whole
No, it's true because it's one on one side of the coin, you want to do it with someone you know, but on the other side, it's like, ooh, do I want to do it with someone I know? Because you could get to a point where if you're playing the game, if something happens or all these things, like we've joked about it. Like if we were on it, it's like, God, what would happen if one of us was a traitor?
One
then we'd
glass
have to
of wine,
lie.
you're like,
it's
I'm
just
a
like,
traitor.
it's just like, and you're like, okay, and then that's that. It's just, So I'm sure it was crazy, but I feel like until it got hectic at the end, the two of you did seem like you were having so
we
much
had so
fun.
much fun. Even looking back on it now, we're always like, oh my God, that was so much fun. And we got to experience
It's always
it together.
the after.
Yeah,
when you look
everything's
back.
prettier in hindsight.
Was Rob being the sole winner at that point a shock or not a shock to you guys?
Not a shock, and
Yeah.
to be
He was
fair,
good. He was a good trader.
he was masterful. And
Yeah.
if anybody should have won that thing alone, it should have been him.
Yeah,
if,
I mean, I
if it
think-
wasn't us, I was
Yeah.
rooting for him because, like every mission, he kicked
Yeah.
ass. Every time we were in a social situation or doing reality, as it's called in the show, he made time to be friendly and talk to everyone. Someone could say it's strategy, but I also think there's some heart to Rob, and like he was generally a lovely person for the most part, and
Yeah.
that's why he was able to do so well.
Yep.
But I don't think it's all fake for the game.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you 100%. And I think that, when Johnny left, obviously that was so awful for me. But I also knew that, we made it to the last episode together. So there was only a little bit of time. So I actually felt like very focused and competitive in that moment because I was like, I've got to come through for Johnny and we've got to win it together, even though he's not standing there. And I think I was so sad the first part of that episode where I really thought, well, you were still around at that point. I thought we won the game because Maura was like all in on
Maura
Eric.
lied to her.
Yeah, all in. And she's like,
Yeah.
we're going to go for Eric. He's going to be so surprised. Like, my hands are shaking. I can't even believe
Yeah.
it. And I was like, Johnny, we just won.
Yeah.
It's going to be me, you, and Maura at the end. And I was so convinced by what she said to me that first round table when he left was such a shock.
Yeah.
By the end game, I kind of realized I'm like, I'm going to try again.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get it. But I was like, this is now really like 50-50
Right.
if it could happen.
Hey, Rob may have won the whole thing, but he did make a promise to her, which was a Birkin.
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
And
I'm
he
so happy
made
she
it
got
happen.
it. Secured.
And Maura's Birkin has gotten a lot of press, but you two walked in here
guys came in
with
with
matching
matching-
Birkins.
Yeah.
Bags.
Okay, funny story. So I've been a collector for a while, and I love Birkin bags, and it's like the one thing I understand as far as an investment is concerned. If I ever need them, they're sitting there. But
This is what we've been talking about.
yeah,
It's an investment.
It's an investment. I don't sell them though, so that's the thing. But
Investment for yourself.
yeah. But skating is really big in Japan, and I had an Hermes guy in the Ginza shop, and I was going in to pick one up during the Olympics in Tokyo, and Tara went with me, and she hadn't really dove into the Hermes pool yet.
Yeah, I was like, this is too
Yeah.
much of a purchase.
Yeah.
It was overwhelming.
Yeah, but they took us into the room. She was obviously popular in the store as well because skating is so big over there. And she watched the process unfold, like revealing it from the white bag so you wear the
Yes.
gloves, the whole
Gloves.
thing.
Wow, this is
chocolate,
fancy.
marshmallow.
Chocolates are coming out. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Champagne.
Yeah.
It's a wowzer. And then she was like, well, I want one. And I want a matching one. And my guy, he was like, well, let me see what I can do. So in Japan, they get a really limited number of bags in a particular color. So it was a seasonal color. It was very special. I think it's very sought after now.
Yeah, should we?
Can
do
we
you
bring
want
them
Yes,
in?
Yeah,
there's-
let me-
I was going to
Yeah,
say
nobody
don't-
else in the room
don't let
touch
Sarah
them.
touch them. Yeah, but
bring them in?
You
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, otherwise I have to ease my way out. Actually, you can look at the discoloration on
And
this
know which is who.
and know
Like,
whose is whose.
maybe a little tan on them.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I love a Birkin bag, and this is in the color Nata, but our guy was able to source one. There were like 6 of this color in the
There
whole
you go.
country, and he got one for me and he got one for Tina.
Yeah, I
So
was.
only 6.
Sarah, yours looks like you use yours, you know?
Oh, I really use
Mine's just been to the spa, to be fair.
Okay, fair.
No, it was so crazy because I didn't think I was going to do that. But
Yeah.
then the fact that we have matching ones. Can you put my
Which I just think is so funny that you guys
Feels
have matching
very
ones
right.
and the show ends with like this being such a big thing that it's like this huge moment of
Yeah.
Rob gifting her this
Yeah.
bag. It's like, and everyone's like, well, shouldn't everybody be getting a bag? Like,
When did you guys get them?
So it was like 2021 when the Olympics were in Tokyo.
Okay, so you've had them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's old news now. Now we're
like
trying
Johnny
to
said,
figure out our
he's a
second
collector.
situation.
Yes.
No, but
But-
we're working on our second
Our second
to try
round.
to do a matching moment
It's
is
hard.
very hard.
Yes.
So Johnny, I leave that to you.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Well-
her handles could use some love. But,
Hers will go to the spa next.
it has to go to the spa.
And then you'll work on it.
No, it's wonderful, and I love like busting through a door and we're both carrying the same bag. It's really
love it.
cute. It's very on brand for us.
I love it. When you guys walked in, I was like, are those? So I think they are. We've
So
been
good.
talking about it all day.
I love it. We have been talking about it nonstop, which is so funny. But I loved watching all the Olympic coverage from you guys. I feel like we had some major U.S. skating moments this year, whether it was surprise in a good way, surprise in a bad way, just all over the place. Now that we're a little bit removed, what are you guys taking away from these Team USA moments?
I feel like it was just a great moment for skating in
Yeah.
general. I feel like the public really engaged with Team USA. You have Alyssa Liu and Amber Glenn and Ilya Malinin and Max Naumov and all of their incredible stories and unique personalities, and it just felt larger than life to me. And then you had the ups and downs, which is what the Olympics brings. So you watched the heartbreak of Ilya Malinin, who was supposed to win gold against, there was no odds against him. He just, it was like in the bag. And for something like that to happen was so shocking. But then also the greatest thing about his story for me was the way that he showed up for the Olympic champion that night and walked over there. And he was the example of sportsmanship. And just for me, just off the ice. He's an incredible athlete, but I think it showed his character off the ice. And then I think Alyssa Liu for figure skating, it just reminds everyone why figure skating is so amazing.
Yeah.
And just her mindset and the wisdom she has at such a young age and the way she's able to bring that to the ice is so refreshing. So I really feel like there's this resurgence right now in skating.
I mean, I have a skating school, and the rink is so crowded right now. So many people are bringing their kids to learn to skate, and I think that's awesome. But the thing about the Olympics that was so special this time is that we come from, the Olympics as a whole are always something that we tune in for, and we love all the Olympics.
Yeah.
But figure skating is our sport, and our sport is judged by strangers. So you often have the feeling as a skater that you want to please everyone and you don't want to ruffle feathers. And I wasn't that way in my career, but there are definitely a lot of people around me in my time that were trying to play by the rules and be the perfect little skater person. Whatever the judges wanted, that's what they were.
Yep.
And I think this Olympics, for the first time, really, we had a full menagerie of beautiful, authentic athletes, people that really were themselves, and they showed the world that you can win by being yourself. And I think that is the most special message that all the skaters gave to the world this Olympic Games, and Team USA, of course, in particular, between Ilya's sportsmanship, Amber's heart on her sleeve, Alyssa showing the world that you don't have to be exactly what you imagine when you think of a figure skater to win the gold. Chalk and Bates being graceful in defeat, Team USA winning the team event. I think that there was just so much beauty and kind of that human vulnerability to all the skaters that we got to watch,
And I
more
think
so
we've
than ever.
seen that
Absolutely.
for years in skating.
And especially some of the interviews they've been doing. I saw Alyssa was asked recently, like, what she would say to her younger self. And I love that she was
Her
like,
answer was
nothing.
amazing.
Like, she was like, nothing. Like, she's got it. Like, she'll figure it out. And I was like, I have never thought about responding that way, but I love that answer.
Alyssa Liu should also become like a therapist and give us all advice because she's got it down.
Yeah.
She really
I love
does.
that.
I think I lost sleep over Madison and Evan. Like I really couldn't believe it. And it does, like you said, you do those deep dives into judging and how it all turns out, all these things. Like how hard is it like commentating on these moments where you sort of course, have your own opinion because you're coming off judges who also have their own opinion. That's their score. And you sort of have to honor their opinion, but at the same time, you're like, I don't know.
Oh, we call them out
call it out.
when we really need to. But our first duty is to our audience, the people that invite us into their living room so that they can enjoy the skating with us. So we have a huge responsibility, but also a lot of gratitude for being able to share what our sport is with the world.
Which
So
you guys do an amazing job at.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
That's our first objective. And then obviously we get to sit in the booth with our best friend and we enjoy each other's company. And I'm sure you guys love working together and
Yes.
sitting and gossiping and talking. So we infuse it with that as well. But sometimes the hard moments are really hard for us because we have both been there. We know what it feels like to lose by this much. We know what it feels like to have a rough performance and not fulfill expectations. And that really does help us with our job, having the experience of it and trying to make it make sense to people without kind of tearing down the skater that you've just seen and like saying, well, they lost a point here, they lost a point here, they did this a little bit incorrectly, and not pooing on their moment, and trying to lift them up, because we respect and admire anyone that's brave enough to get out there and do this sport, because it's so personal.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes, I mean, obviously biased, but I think that's what makes skating so special and so dramatic in a way. You know, it's still a little bit of a subjective sport. There's an artistic score, there's a technical score, and now they've built a judging system that's all based on numbers. But at the end of the day, there's, you know, still personal preference that can change things. And I think, like you said, it's our sort of duty to know the ins and outs of that and try to explain it to the audience and make sure each athlete is sort of, you know, lifted up for their moment too.
But we definitely, we lead with love. Like that's where we come from as people, and that's who we were as skaters.
Well, we've been there. Like, we've been in every one of those situations.
Which is why I think you guys are so great, like I said. And I think there is such a balance when you're watching a sport like figure skating where you want to be focused on the skater, but at the same time inform the viewer of what's happening and moves that are happening so that you can teach people, but also not, you know, talk over the entire performance.
Right.
And then you lose the music and you lose the things. You guys have the perfect balance. I think it's really so great. It makes me love watching figure skating. And I think this past Olympics was so great for everyone watching, that hopefully they'll continue to watch even when it's not the Olympics.
That makes me so happy just to hear that. I mean, that's
Yeah.
all we want, is we love our sport so much.
Yeah.
I mean, we grew up, it's our life. And
we live our lives in Olympic cycles, really.
Yeah.
Like we have our whole lives.
Yeah.
But we also now not only had our story in the sport, but we have watched Ilya from day one. We have seen these skaters grow up before our eyes and know the sacrifices they make for these moments. So all we want to do is commentate in a way that brings viewers in to realize what's so magical about skating.
And you guys absolutely do that. And we became so obsessed with it now for our book club. We're reading the favorites.
Yes.
Good.
Because we just couldn't get enough.
I know.
And did you record some of the audiobook?
Yes, I played Elistine for the audiobook.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's our book club book of the
Yeah,
month.
we were
That's
like,
amazing.
we're so into it, so we're doing the
into
favorites.
it. We were like, we should have done it last month, but we're just extending our obsession with
you
it.
do have the World Championships this month.
Yes,
at the end of the
exactly.
month, so.
Tune into that.
Yeah.
So we're really excited. Thank you guys so much. We do have to. I know you guys have a heart out, so we have to wrap up. But this was so great. We're so happy that you guys came into studio to talk to us.
too.
And
Thank
it was
you.
so much
Thank
fun.
you
Thank you
guys
both
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you, and enjoy your lives. Your
Yes,
live
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
podcasting. Yeah.